can't take away and leave me with nothing again. You can't feel my anger, you can't feel my pain, you can't feel my torment driving me insane. I can't fight these feelings, they will bring me pain. You can't take away, make me whole again. You will feel my anger, you will feel my pain, you will feel my torment driving you insane. I can't fight these feelings, they will bring you pain. You won't take away, I'll be whole again.
Hello everyone, this is Colin on the ASCA League channel, and here we are at the Taylor Swift Superdome for the All-Star event, the third annual event in the Pennzoil Pro Series schedule. We are here at a third different track, this time a short track, something we haven't seen before in the ASCA League. Here are the point standings coming into this race. This will not be changed, however the 20th spot will. This entire race is all to decide who that 20th spot will be. And coming into this race, Brian Lehning, you see him on the top. If a chaser wins, that's what he wants, because he will be in the All-Star, in the chase. But everyone else that you saw on that list will have to win to make their way into the chase. It's everyone's last shot as we see our first group of cars making their way through turns 2 and 3. And now out of 4. This is their last shot to make the chase and live the dream of being in the top 20 and going for a championship. Here we are, green flag to start out segment 1. Out of turn 2, it looks like Eric Willis will have the advantage and the bottom side will prevail as Willis will take the lead on lap 1. Only 25 laps to make your move, and the winner of this will go on to the main All-Star event. Jack Newman right behind him. He does not have a reason to be racing for this win as he is already confirmed into the chase. So he is one of Brian Lenning's drivers that he wants to win. And Jack Newman, he doesn't have a win though. Everybody you see in these two segments does not have a win, including this guy, Aaron Lukes, who's second in points, which is very surprising seeing as he's just been consistent. He hasn't gotten any wins, but that's definitely going to be coming soon in his future. Perhaps he could get one here today. However, he's slipping back early fast. The 4 car, though, you see Daniel Maxwell. He has a shot at making the chase today if he wins. Eric Willis is one of the drivers who's in the chase, so he does not have to worry about winning this. However, he has a teammate back there in third, Addison Steinbach, that yellow car. The Zach Camry. He needs to win this race if he wants to make the chase, and he's made it his past 2 seasons, so he'll miss out if he doesn't. There was a little bit of contact in the back. James Johnson and Carson Scott making a little contact. James Johnson being sponsored in part by Taylor Swift for this race. Haley Wish is a fellow Dodge racer, is going to have some problems, and she's going to take her car to the garage early on. Not entirely sure what's going on under the hood yet, but that will end Haley's chances of making the championship 20. Eric Willis continues to lead about 2/5 of the way through the race. In the back behind him, the battle is really starting to gain some immense strength as you see the 23 and the 51. The 51 of Dion Scott entering this battle, the 09 of Jesse Dalton. Both of them are fighting for this win. They need to win to make the chase. And here's the driver that we're talking about. If a chaser wins, he'll be in, Brian Lehning. And fun fact, this is not the first time he's been in this situation. Last season, in fact, he was 20th coming into the All-Star event, and he was in the exact same shoes as he is in today. Lehning, however, got lucky last year, and he had a chaser win the All-Star race, which put him in the chase, and he had a pretty good season, too. This year, he has to hope for the same thing, as he needs that to happen in order to make the chase. Or he could go out and win himself, but coming from this round, it will be difficult. Jesse Dalton in the 09 car, it's been a struggle. He's had a few changes coming from PRD as well as Malley Motorsports, and then not able to get in PRD because they got banned earlier this season. Managed to find a second ride and at night racing, and really it's just been a struggle for the 09 team to make races. But today he's showing strength, and if he can make it to victory lane here, he may have a shot at winning the All-Star race and making the final 20. It's everyone's dream right now, including John Gilbert, John Cittadino, and Daniel Maxwell. All of them Fords, and all of them missed the chase. Ford has announced that they'll be going to the Mustang manufacturer, so John Gilbert will be going to the same kind of car that Maxwell and Cittadino are running, Mustangs. But for Daniel Maxwell and DW Motorsports, they look so close to making their first chase appearance. However, it just was not meant to be, and they're having to win both their cars if they want to make the chase. You see Brian Lehning also passing there on the outside. Cody Smart in the 52. That would be a huge upset if he would win, since he's only a part-time driver. You see Aaron Lukes. It's a surprise to see him falling back. He started third, but he has fallen deep in the field, and currently he just keeps slipping. But I would only assume this is because he's in the chase and he just wants to save his stuff. But we are nearing the end of the race with 2 laps to go. At the front, it's still Eric Willis out front. However, the battle has heated up, and you see Jack Newman is right on his back bumper, and he's going to have to do some serious blocking. Final lap, Jack Newman is to the outside in the Nitro Chevrolet. I think he's going to get it. He's going to get the run off the corner. Here comes Jesse Dalton on the outside, but it's not going to be enough. And a chaser will steal one away from the guys who are trying to make it in. Jack Newman will win segment 1 at the Taylor Swift Superdome, and he will go on to the final round, and he'll also get his first race win of the season. And congratulations to Jack Newman as he takes home the win. Eric Willis, he led 24 to 25 laps. The one lap he did not lead was the most important one. Jesse Dalton, Dion Scott, Addison Steinbeck, all respectable efforts, but they will not come home in first, and they will not make the championship 20. As you see down the list, Haley Wish had a suspension issue which put her out of the race early on. Anyways, now we will move to round number 2 in the second segment of the All-Star event. And this will be the final segment before we move on to the main All-Star race. In this segment, we have the other half of the field that did not have a win this season, and they are all here, ready to try and go out and win this race. Here are the drivers still eligible to make the championship 20 after the eliminations from last race. However, a lot of these drivers will be going home after this one, as then we'll be down to only the All-Star race later today. Brian Lehning still holds that top despite him being eliminated already, so now it's all up to the chasers to get him secured in that 20th spot. And I'm not sure if they want to do that though, because if you remember in Season 2 he did really well. I think he made it to the top 7 in points. Maybe they don't want to win just to keep him out of the chase. Either way, if a lucky driver can win today, that would be his dream. Could it be the 16 car of Nikita Riskhoff, who was 21st in points coming into this race, and missed it by 1 position? He is going to try to get some redemption and get himself in the championship 20. Here we go. Green flag for segment 2. And Nikita trying to get the spot, but it looks like the outside line is going to prevail this time. And Nick Purcell's going to shoot off to the front. Purcell's really looking for a win. Matthew Brown, you see falling behind. Brown, as well as Nikita, is going for the win because that's his last chance to make the chase. Nick Purcell's already in. He was able to snatch the 18th position in points. at Richmond. However, a thing to remember, this is still a race, and a lot of these drivers want to show that they've won something this season, and everyone we see here does not have a win. Those were the qualifications to get into the main All-Star event, to have a win, and Nick Purcell's is definitely looking for one. He is, I don't even remember the last time he's gotten a win. I believe he got one in Season 2 at Martinsville, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when he got a win. But since then, he's been dry, and Nick Purcell's would definitely love a win. Here's Stuart Gratton. His season has been up and down, but he is currently showing some speed. He's in 4th position. I also see Jose Vaquez, definitely not what we were expecting from the Rookie of the Year last year. We thought he was going to perform a little better, but he is in the same position as a lot of drivers here. Win and you're in. Or at least win and you're into the All-Star race. These segments only get you into the All-Star race. And then the All-Star winner will prove who'll be the 20th position driver. Here's Zach Hars. He was the very last driver to make the chase in 19th. However, his teammate Tyler Selspin was not too fortunate enough for that. He is trying to win to make his way to the All-Star race and try to fight for that 20th spot. Ryan Dunn, this is definitely a confusing sight. No wins under this 96 Toyota. Ryan Dunn has combined 6 wins, 3 in each of his last 2 seasons. However, so far this year, he has none, and that would be very depressing for the 96 team. Despite him showing some pretty good promise, as he came in here 16th in points, and he will not have to race his way in. Another SFR Racing guy who definitely was disappointed with his points position finishing spot is Zach Komoski. Didn't even make the top 28, just outside. Komoski, although not showing anything to win this segment, as he is running in the back. However, the battle at the front has definitely gotten intense. Nick Purcell's trying to hold off. We saw what happened last race. Eric Willis led every single lap except the last one where Jack Newman stole it away. But in this situation, you have 2 drivers who want to win super badly in Jack Newman's position. And I bet you both of them will try even harder than Newman did to get this win. We see Joseph Wrigley back here in the Mike's Hard Lemonade. Joseph has been confirmed to not be coming back to this team. A replacement is not known at this time, but for Double Team Motorsports, we could possibly see some of the top amateur series drivers like Max Stein or Nia Devitt come to this ride. But we have a battle at the front, and it's Matthew Brown and Nikita. Nikita's trying to fight back to get the 2nd spot, but is it too late? And Nick Purcell is able to drive away while they were battling side by side. And Nikita looks like he has a fast car, but is that enough time? Coming off of turn 2, he only has a lap and a half to make up that much ground. I don't think he can do it. He is pulling away from Matthew Brown, but he's not closing in on the 00 fast enough. White flag has been displayed, and Nick Purcell's going to come off the corner. He's finally going to go back to victory lane. Checkered flag for the 00 car for Old Spice Racing. And Nick Purcell's, congratulations, as he'll get his first win of the season, and he'll lock himself into the All-Star race. A disappointment for Nikita and Matthew Brown as they come up just a little bit short. Jose Vaquez rallied for a 4th. Zach Hars and Tyler Selspin, SFR Racing teammates, not doing too bad there. Ryan Dunn, Stuart Gratton fell back a little bit in the end. Justice Wrigley, Tony Green, Ruby Easton, Ryan Kendall all lose their last shot at making the chase, including William Brock in the 16th position. But now this leaves us with a very slim gap as we move on into our feature event, the All-Star event, specifically the All-Star race. Here we are as we see the final 17 drivers, 15 race winners, including the 2 that just won now. Actually, adding the 2 that just won now, 17 total drivers in this field. And in this field, only 5 will have a chance at being that 20th spot. 4 of them will race. 1 of them provides for the other 13 drivers on the track. Brian Lehning is in pretty safe hands, but I wouldn't look now, because right on the outside of the front row, you got a driver who's very, very hungry for that last chase spot. Arish Hussain starting on the outside of row 1. Rick Witt on the pole. Arsh Hussein definitely wanting to get this win. Kyle Collins in row 2, as well as Jay Durrell looking to gain back some lost strength. Row 3, Allison Davidson. There's another driver looking to make it in. Jack Newman on his outside. Row 4, Daniel Voiles, another one, and Cody Russell to his outside. Row 5, Derek Petrie and Michael Jones, both drivers with wins earlier in the season. Row 6, Blaine Keys and Brian Boone. Boone, a two-time winner, one of the few in this field. Row 7, Nick Purcell's Segment 2 winner, and Webster Zyard. Row 8, Kyle Singer, your last driver who can make the chase, Cesar Chavez. And then finally, row 9, Jay Barker, the 3-time winner, starting way in the back in dead last. But here we go, green flag to end off the All-Star event, and this will decide who gets that final chase position. And what a launch off the corner by the 9 car as Rick Witt is falling back fast. Jay Durrell and Jack Newman are going to go by. Newman, the segment 1 winner, he's out of the gate strong, but look at those two up in front as they're going to drive away, and Rick Witt is continuing to fall back now. Your pole sitter not faring very well, almost in a similar fashion that Aaron Lukes did in the first segment. Arsh Hussein, however, out front. Hussein's season so far can be described as a train wreck. Already been announced that he will not be returning to this car next season, and replacement is unknown, but Hussein would just absolutely love to show that it's been the luck that's been keeping him out of the chase, as he is showing he wants to win this race, but he's going to have to go through last year's champion Jay Durrell. And Durrell, I think he wants to keep National Racing out of the championship this time. Jack Newman back there was one of the drivers who was fighting him for the championship and almost took it, but Durrell was able to hang on as he got the Season 2 championship. Looking back, we have a bunch of other drivers, 3 to be exact, that are racing for the final spot. Cesar Chavez, Allison Davidson, and Daniel Voiles, 2 of them being Red Viper Racing cars, as they are both trying to join teammate Rick Witt in the chase. Cesar Chavez was the Martinsville winner and probably one of the biggest upsets of the season in terms of wins. However, Chavez finished a respectable 24th in points, not too bad for the Double T Motorsports car, the highest finishing one of them all. But Arsh Hussein has to watch out because here comes Jay Durrell. This is a 50-lap race, so we can't end it in 25 laps like we saw last 2 segments. But the 9 car has to be watching his back because the 43 is looking strong on that outside. While the 9 car of Arsh Hussein, though, he seems to be running more of a middle line. But you see the 43 car looks to the outside on the exit of the corners, looking to see if he can get anything, but he left his door open. Here comes Jack Newman in the 7. And Newman in the Nitro Chevrolet, he is coming. I think he wants to get after his teammate. This is only helping him, though, as it looks like Durrell will be able to fend off the charge from the number 7, but that will put some space between the 43 and the 9. So Jack Newman trying to go after. He's the Segment 1 winner, shows he has had speed, and he's showing it here in the final round. Jay Barker's fought his way through the field as well, but Cody Russell has fallen back deep after starting up front. In fact, all Big Motorsports cars were entered into this race, but a lot of them have fallen towards the back, including Cesar Chavez, you see in that 03 car. Chavez, that's not what he wants to see, as he's racing for the win. And oh, there's a slow car, and it's Arsh Hussein! It's Arsh Hussein! What's going on? And the 12 car is going to get spun around on pit road by, I believe that was the car in the back, Kyle Collins, and Hussein is on pit road. Oh boy, and that is not, this takes him out of contention, because there goes the leaders by. How in the world did that happen? From leader, look at the gap he had, and something breaks. Something must have broken in that car, and he's slow on the apron, and he's going to have to get to pit road here. Eventually he'll get spun out, but it's not the cosmetic damage that he's worried about. What is going on under the hood? And he won't get spun out, actually. The 12 car will. I don't think he gets any damage from that. We're going to have to check that out. Webster Zygarde has pulled his car behind the wall. I think he's calling it a day, but you see Kyle Collins really nowhere he can go there. As kind of just a bunch up. No one really expected the 9 to make the jump to pit road, but definitely a problem there under the 9 car. But even more surprising, you saw pit stops happened, but we had some strategy. Allison Davidson stayed out under that round of green flag pit stops, or caution flag pit stops, but even more surprising, the 9 car is back out on the track. He is out on the track, however, 3 laps down, so he is nowhere in contention, but I don't know what would happen there. I don't know what happened. The 9 car lost any shot he had, though, of winning this thing. But the 17 sure giving herself a chance. Allison Davidson trying to put herself in the chase. But how will old tires prevail? On the right side of your screen, we are halfway through the race. Can Allison survive a full-length segment, if you would call it that? As with that caution, this race has pretty much been split up into 2 segments, if you think about it, since it's a 25 and 25 lap race. But the 17 car, you saw the 7 had some problems, and the 9 car is also having problems. The back end is smashed in just a little bit, and the 9 car is a little slow, and he's going to get dumped above the 47 car, and I don't think that was intentional. Just the 9 car is a little slow on the bottom there. Nowhere for the 47 to go. He was running 4th too. That's disappointing for his day, as he was looking strong today. But back up front, Allison Davidson, this number 7 car, is posing a problem to her. And he is looking on the outside. You see the 17. Oh, that's not good. Here goes the 7. And the 7 is going to take the lead. And Allison might have given up the advantage she had most in the front of the group. And her blocking strategy will not work out, as Jack Newman will get by. Jay Durrell will now file in 3rd place as he looks for a way by. And Allison Davidson, I don't know if she can make her way back to the front. She's going to have to hope for a miracle, though. And here comes Jay Durrell. He's high, wide, and handsome, as he's going to take 2nd place, it looks like. He will, and he almost scraped the wall in turns 2 and 3. I mean, 1 and 2. But he will end up taking the spot, and that was really risky, but he was able to do it. Definitely doesn't want to see the 7 car get away too far. We saw one of our chasers had problems. Here's another one. One of the chasers for the final spot thereof. The 03 car has just been struggling, and he has not found speed all day. He is stuck way in the back. And how about this? Nick Purcell is your segment 2 winner. He has not had speed either. And you would think he would outer the segment winner, but apparently not, as he's been stuck in the back as well. So basically it is down to Allison pretty much, as Voiles is still in contention. He's back inside the top 6, but I don't think he's going to have time with 10 laps to go. But you see the 43 car, he will do it. Wow, and on the outside, he was able to catch up to Jack Newman really quickly. And Jay Durrell is making a statement here. Durrell is saying, I'm the Season 2 champion. Just because I had a few bad races coming up to the chase doesn't mean I'm at the top of my game. Let me through. I'm winning this All-Star race. And again with Voiles, here he is in the back. I think he is running 5th place. No, he's running 6th behind his 2 teammates, actually. Rick Witt is that in front of him. The pole sitter has managed to fight his way back up after starting with possibly the worst setup we've ever seen, apparently, because he dropped like a rock. But I don't believe we will be seeing a driver win his way into the 20th spot. I believe that a chaser is going to win this, and Brian Lehning is going to take the 20th spot. Final lap is in the air. No competition from behind from Jack Newman. Rick Witt has taken the 3rd spot from Allison Davidson. It's over. Off of the turn, Jay Durrell, Season 2 champion, will come home with a checkered flag at the All-Star race. And that wraps up an eventful night of racing. And Durrell definitely made the statement here today that he has not lost any of his Season 2 strength. And here's your finishing results. Durrell, Newman, Witt. Petrie actually came home 4th. That's a surprising effort. And Michael Jones, even after wrecking, is going to finish 5th. Allison Davidson slipped back to 6th in just the final 2 laps. Other drivers, Daniel Voiles fell back as well. The highest finishing driver not in the chase was Davidson, though, in 6th place. And not having tires did definitely hurt her. But how about Arshad Hussein, Cesar Chavez? Hussein out front most of the race, or most of the first part, will not make it because of a mechanical issue. And here is the updated point standings, all with the points rounded up to 1,000. And then 1 point down for each driver from where they finished in the points last season. And now Brian Lehning is officially a part of the group, and we have our official top 20 in the points. That's all for now. The Pennzoil Pro Series will start you out on the chase at our next race at Texas. Thank you all guys so much for watching. This is the ASCA League signing out.